This has been the Milwaukee Baseball Report on 94.5 ESPN, brought to you by National Liquor Mart.
Hey, it's Greg Scalzo and Ben Brust.
Catch us Monday through Friday, 4 to 6.
Right here on 94.5 ESPN, WKTI, and WKTI HD Milwaukee.
A locally owned Good Karma brand station.
For your sports talk fix every day from 4 to 6, it's Scalzo and Brust. For your sports talk fix every day from 4 to 6, it's Scalzo and Brust. For your sports talk fix every day from 4 to 6, it's Scalzo and Brust. For your sports talk fix every day from 4 to 6, it's Scalzo and Brust.
Live from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All studios at the Avenue.
It's a party, baby.
This is Scalzo and Brust, presented by Michelob Ultra.
It's a party, baby.
On 94.5 ESPN and Wisconsin On Demand.
It's a party, baby. Woo! It's a party, baby.
Happy Friday! Welcome to Scalzo and Brust. Presented by Michelob Ultra. It's only worth it if you enjoy it. He is Ben Brust. I'm Greg Scalzo. Josh and Amash running the show. You, the Scalzo and Brust family, calling, texting 800-990-ESPN. Again, 800-990-3776. That's 800-990-ESPN. Simone Biles in Green Bay, that's right, the Olympian gold medalist, is your newest Green Bay Packer fan.
Multi-gold medalist. The all-around gold and the team gold.
That was the only add-on there.
I mean, it's an important add-on.
I thought you were going to explain why Simone Biles is in Green Bay. Why she's all of a sudden wearing green and gold.
Well, for those who may have missed it, she is newly married to the newest Green Bay Packers safety, which ultimately I think tells us that Adrian Amos is goodbye. Fair to say? No, Josh isn't by his.
I don't think that that's fair to say. I think that right now the Packers are in let's build as much competition as possible during the offseason and during camp. And then we'll go ahead and see what pans out. I still think Amos ends up back with the Packers in some capacity this season.
Jonathan Owens was one of the NFL's leading tacklers last season, and he signs with the Green Bay Packers.
That is correct. And he is with Simone Biles. Many people now saying she's the most famous Packers fan there is. I don't know if she's more famous than Lil Wayne. Like, I feel like Lil Wayne still carries that torch. Am I wrong?
Yeah, I think so. Because Harry Styles,
he's not a real Packers fan.
Dude, he's got a tattoo.
He's got a Packers tat.
Why is he Packers fan?
I could Google it.
I mean,
is it the English?
We're growing the game, man. London games.
Yeah, it's like all the fake soccer, EPL, English Premier League fans that are in the U.S.
Are you calling out all the fake Saturday morning soccer fans?
I am not. People can be fans of what they want to be. Again, it is Friday here on Scalzo and Brust. We got Homer coming up here in about 10 minutes. That seems to be the big news out of Packerland. They signed a safety who was on the Houston Texans last year. He happens to be married to Simone Biles. Simone Biles in Green Bay, asking Wisconsinites where she should eat, how she should live up there in the Green Bay area. We'll get to that. But the Bucs coaching rumors continue to heat up as well. The Brewers back on track tonight at AmFam Field.
Is that a guarantee?
What?
You said Brewers back on track tonight?
Yeah, they're back on track after an off day.
Back on track would mean like they're like coming off of a win, or they're going to get a win tonight.
Why are you being weird right now? They're going to get a win tonight. Yeah.
I was just wondering if you feel that confident. Let's place a bet. They're not back on track.
Do you like how Ben is thinking more about personal betting right now than the actual show? He just literally heard me say that, and instead of building on it to benefit the audience, immediately just thinks about are dual gambling.
How can I put some shekels in my pocket?
Yes. The Brewers are hosting the Kansas City Royals at home tonight at AmFam Field. I'll actually be heading to the game. Excited about that one. They've got their ace Corbin Burns on the mound, taking on Josh Taylor, who's got an ERA that's over 6 so far this season.
Oh, put a W on the board.
I feel pretty good they're getting back on track. I was with many of the Brewers last night.
Cool.
And they've got a good vibe going. I'm a strong believer in this club right now. Good energy, good vibe, good camaraderie. I'm a strong believer in where the Brewers are at this point.
I am too. I've watched probably, I'm not joking, 20% of the season on TV. Do you believe me?
Do I believe you what?
That I've watched 20% of their season on TV.
Yes. What are you doing right now?
I just feel like that was one of those moments where you'd be like, no freaking way.
Well, then let me say no way. You don't have to ask me. Do you believe me that I've watched 20? It's not even like you've watched every inning. If you said I've watched every inning, do you believe me? That's different. Watching 20% of the games is very accomplishable, especially when they're 2 hours long.
Yeah, you're right. I underpromised. I probably have watched more than 20%.
So you've watched like 6 games?
But like, that's what I'm saying. I probably watched more than that. I really have.
I can't even get to the main point here. I'm literally just building up to the idea of the Bucks is top of mind for me right now. And that may be counterintuitive, but as the NBA playoffs rolls on, the coaching search rolls on, Ty Lue seems to be the new name that's being tossed about everywhere. And I'm not sure how much we're getting the real candidates out there as much as we're getting enough knowledge, we're getting enough names so that whoever they hire, no one can go back and say that this Bucks team didn't do their due diligence and think or talk to a whole lot of people. Ty Lue seems to be the name in the clubhouse, but even more so, I think about the Bucks because this Celtics-Sixers series is going exactly the way the Milwaukee Bucks would have wanted it to go. These two teams are beating the crap out of each other. Embiid had to come back early from an injury. They are going toe-to-toe. It's going 7 games back to Boston. And meanwhile, we're seeing exactly how bad the Knicks and the Heat really are. This Bucks team would have won in 5 games, and I know that's absurd to say, given that they were 15 games short of winning an NBA championship this year. They won 1 NBA playoff game this year. But the Bucks getting the number 1 seed was so beneficial this regular season because of this exact scenario. And watching this playoffs play out, all I can think about was everything lined up perfectly from regular season to this Celtics-Sixers matchup going the distance, right? Because during that first round, when you saw Embiid get hurt, you're thinking, oh, well, maybe the Celtics win in 5 here, and that's not as much of a benefit to get that 1 seed. No. Whoever gets that team, if the Bucks get one of those 2 teams, they are in prime position to get to an NBA Finals.
So I'm with you because every time that I watch the Celtics-Philly series, it's like an absolute grind, and not from the standpoint of it just going game 7. It is a grind. Like, it's kind of ugly in a way. The offenses are struggling. Jason Tatum shooting a poor percentage. The debate between like who should get the ball, Tatum or Brown, this, that, and the other thing. Philly literally only has Embiid and Harden, right? That's what they have. Tyrese Maxey is a good player. Whatever. I'm not going to get into the details of that. But it's a grind. And then I'm just so sad. You know how gross that Heat-Knicks series is? So gross. Everyone's like, oh, Heat-Knicks. This is good for the NBA. It reminds us of the 90s. Huh? RJ Barrett? Right? Like, RJ Barrett? Julius Randle has the worst true shooting percentage of anyone who's played like 6 or like 30 playoff games. He sucks. The Knicks are no good. Jimmy Butler is showing that he's human. And
well, you knew at some point he was. He's going to run out of gas.
Of course. But my point is like, it hurts. Both watching both series hurts. So actually pull that, Joshy. Which series hurts you more as a Bucks fan? Watching the Philly and Celtics beat up on each other, or watching how bad the Knicks and Heat are? Because it's another example.
For me, it's watching those two beat up on each other. Because again, like the Bucks would be massive favorites in that second round against the Knicks if they were to play them. And if they beat the Heat and took them out in round 1, you'd have the Bucks taking on basically Jalen Brunson, who's been the one successful player for the Knicks during this series. And
Barrett's been pretty good.
Barrett's been pretty good, but Brunson's the guy that's won them the games.
He's a stud.
And what What a miss, by the way, by the Mavericks. That's for another show and another time. What a miss.
Huge.
The idea to me that you've got those two teams in the Celtics and the Sixers, who I believe we're all like on the same tier as the Bucks, no matter how much you thought the Bucks were better. Those clearly were the three best teams in the East, if not the three best teams in the NBA, depending on what you think about Phoenix. They're beating the crap out of each other. One of those teams that wins is going to be limping into the Eastern Conference Finals, and it's okay that they do now, because they're going to be taking on Jimmy Butler, also limping, I believe. But if that Bucks team were to win in 5 in the second round of the NBA playoffs and was sitting there waiting with home court advantage for one of those two teams, everything would be right there in front of them at this point.
It literally would have been like last year, where like the Celtics were able to take on the Bucks, who were beat up and limping because Chris Middleton wasn't around, and then they found their way playing against an average Heat team where somehow Jimmy Butler had a 3 to potentially beat the Celtics to go to the NBA Finals. There's been some misses, and it sucked. And as I step away, right, like the decision's been made. I still think it's the wrong decision, but there's been some missed opportunities. 2019, Kawhi Leonard, right? Especially with the Bucks winning the first 2 games of the Eastern Conference Finals in 2019. 2020, they got it done. 2021, they don't have Chris Middleton. This 2022 season, 2023 into this playoffs, it's a miss. And they all kind of hurt. But this one hurts especially because now it's decision-making time. It's who's going to be back. What's Middleton going to do? Are you going to re-sign Brook? You lost 5 second-round picks that probably don't matter anyways for a guy who didn't add anything to you in the playoffs. Probably hurts more than the Packers lost, to be honest, because I don't really think they had a shot to win the Super Bowl anyways last year.
Mark from the Unknown says, you guys are talking like the Bucks barely lost to the Heat and how close they were. They got smoked 4-1.
There's no refuting that.
It's a completely moot point what's going on right now. I agree. I agree with you, Ben. Like, that was such a bizarre series. They were the best team in the NBA throughout the regular season, a team that won the NBA championship 2 years ago. I think we can talk like it was a miss for them not to be in this position. And what's going on right now is Simone Biles is in Green Bay. The Brewers are coming off of an off night, and they get ready to take on a bad Royals team tonight at AmFam Field. And what's going on right now, Mark from the Unknown, is I'm more bothered than ever that the Bucks blew their opportunity this year as they're looking for a new coach. So that's what's going on right now.
Like you said, I don't care that they only won 1 game. The fact of the matter is this team won a freaking championship 2 years ago with essentially the same freaking team that's supposed to be better and deeper than they were 2 years ago.
Ryan in McGuanago and Matt in Milwaukee both said Justin Timberlake, the biggest Packers fan out there. I don't believe he's a real Packers fan either.
I was going to say, I don't buy that for a second. Just because he can sing songs and he's popular, I've yet to see him, show up to Lambeau Field and, get in there in the frozen tundra in December. Not a real Packer fan.
800-990-3776. Let's go to the official brother, the official brother of the Scalzo and Brust family, the world's biggest Packers fan, second biggest Packers fan beside Torey Lowe. He is Jonathan Brust. What's up, JB?
I just want to get my invite for week 1. I want to go up to the frozen tundra, which won't be frozen. It's be nice,
JB,
beautiful.
JB. Week 1's at Soldier Field, buddy.
Is it?
Yes.
Hold on.
I've
been traveling. I just got back last night.
Hey, JB, that's fine. Where's our invite, Mr. Tailgate at Soldier Field guy? Now where's our invite to go and see the Packers down there?
Where's our Italian beef and sausage and hot peppers?
I'll take care of it.
All right, so we'll still spend week 1 together.
All right, mark it down.
Who wins more games this year? Who wins more games this year, Bears or Packers?
Oh, 100% Bears. Not even a question. You guys got Jordan Love.
Thanks.
It's like throwing Ben out there as a quarterback. They're going to lose.
How many wins you got him at, JB? Bears.
Good question, Josh.
10.
Thank you for the call. Oh, good question, Josh. That was amazing.
Dan
from segment is made.
Dan from Sheboygan, welcome to Scalzo and Brust. We're presented by Michelob Ultra. What do you got, Dan?
When I guys, I'm not as bad as that last caller. Bears win 5.
I think that's more
The
realistic.
quarterback's a better. Justin Fields is the best running back they have. How many heights are him throwing the football? Anyways, Green Bay wins 8. Bears win 5. Not close. Packers are a better team.
All right, and you got a buck steak for us?
Yeah, I do. Were they the oldest team in the league last year, or is that just me? They got to be one of the oldest teams in the league.
I mean, I don't have to do research. Yeah, they were old as hell.
And Giannis is not going to age well because he's all about the athleticism and being the Greek freak. He's going to age hard. Brook Lopez may or may not come back. Milton might not be the same player after the injury. They didn't play young guys. They traded away Wara. They didn't play the guy they drafted this year. DiVincenzo's on another team.
Sorry, Dan, I got to cut you off there. As soon as you threw Jordan Wara in the mix there, I had to stop. He had plenty of opportunities. He wasn't good enough.
Milwaukee Bucks were I'm just trying to get the accuracy in here. We're the oldest team in the NBA with an average player at 29 and a half years old.
Yeah, but I hate that Giannis take with everything in my body. LeBron James, say you think he flops or not, has put a lot of miles on a 6'8", 260-pound frame.
I don't even think you need to go.
Sorry,
to LeBron.
When he said Giannis is going to age well, not going to age well, based off what?
I mean, look at the guy who many compare to Giannis, who was in much worse shape for his career, Shaq. Shaq won an NBA championship at 34 years old.
And he was just fat then.
Yeah, well, that's kind of mean, but he was 34 and he was still dominating in that fashion. His game might change a little bit, right? Giannis's game might change a little bit, but I still think he can.
Fat too.
I still think he can dominate for at least the first half of his 30s.
What are your thoughts on that? Giannis bulking up to become a true old school center.
I think at some point in his career, that's going to be the move. It's either learn how to shoot from the outside a la Brook Lopez or bulk up and focus on being a big man down below.
Did you guys see who texted us?
No.
Not.
JB, I don't think liked that we all laughed him out of the building.
Oh,
he
poor
take
guy's
that one.
feelings hurt.
He usually leaves the hero.
Wah. Wah.
Homer joins us next, and Scalzo and Brust were presented by Michelob Ultra.
You're listening to Scalzo and Brust, presented by Michelob Ultra.
I'm a spoiled, rotten brat.
Well, I already made that point. You don't think you need to double down on it.
Scalzo and Brust, available anywhere you get your podcasts with Wisconsin On Demand.
41 southbound remains closed because of police activity. There was a report of shots fired around Watertown Plank Road. So everybody is going to be diverted off at Swan Boulevard. It is a slow crawl. If you don't want to deal with that, just avoid 41 altogether. The northbound side, not much better. We've got delays coming in from the bypass from National Avenue all the way through the zoo up to that point. So you're going to want to start looking at some of the alternate routes. Highway 100, by the way, is really backing up at this point. We've also got southbound on 43 slowing way down from Brown Deer Road all the way down past an accident scene at Hampton Avenue, and that's basically solid all the way through the Marquette. Traffic is brought to you by Fisco Auto Body. Call Fisco Auto Body to help with all body repair needs. Fisco. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast. Tonight, mostly cloudy with a chance of showers, a low of 52. Tomorrow, mostly cloudy, slight chance of showers, a high of 64 at the lake, 70 inland. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
Cedar Ridge Distillery continues to make a home right here in Wisconsin. The original 86 bourbon is the best-selling bourbon in Iowa for 3 straight years, and you have the opportunity to get that here in Wisconsin. Also, the quintessential, the best American single malt, voted by John Barleycorn Awards, and Cedar Ridge manages every step of the production from grain to glass. Make sure you pick up the Scalzo and Brust private barrel of bourbon and rye whiskeys, available at Discount Liquor at 51st in Oklahoma or Barstow in Maine in downtown Waukesha.
Football guy.
Are you cutting me out of the show and talking to Jesse and ignoring me?
football guy.
We're going to take calls. You're not a fan. This is a fan-related question. This
How
is
can you be optimistic about the team without cheering for the team?
Coming at it from different views.
Go ahead. You guys have a segment. Go right
What do
ahead.
you got, Jesse?
Hey, Tausch.
Oh,
How nice of you to
Jesus,
give him
oh,
airtime.
Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Weekdays 9 to noon on 94.5 ESPN. And available wherever you get your podcasts with Wisconsin On Demand.
Hey, this is Gary Ellison for my good friends at the Jewelry Center. It's the only place I go when I'm looking to get some new jewelry. Dean and his team are always friendly and know just what I'm searching for when I stop by. I may not always know what type of jewelry I want, but the professionals there sure do. Plus, if I need repairs on watches or other jewelry, the Jewelry Center does that too. Find the Jewelry Center in Burlington, Brookfield, and Greenfield, or shop their entire collection online, including their popular Lightbox lab-grown diamonds at shoptjc.com.
Show podcasts, team-centric feeds, and listening live whenever, wherever. All of that in the palm of your hand. The Wisconsin On Demand app, available in the Apple or Android App Store.
From big tailgate parties to cozy dinners for two, the freshest ideas start with a stop at Century Foods.
Now through Wednesday, save on 24-pack 0.5-liter bottles, essential everyday purified drinking water, 2 for $6, limit 4. 12-pack 8-ounce bottles or 6-pack 16.9-ounce bottles, Splash Blast flavored water, 2 for $6. 18 to 80 count box, hefty trash or tall kitchen bag, $7.99. 46 to 48-ounce carton, Blue Bunny ice cream or frozen yogurt, $3.99.
Hey, why'd you throw my glass across the room?
I have to keep practicing.
The vase from Aunt Sophie?
I'm warming up in case I get to take them out at American Family Field. Read this.
Win the ultimate baseball fan experience at Century Foods?
You either get to throw out the first pitch, hold the finish line for the famous racing sausages, or be on the field during batting practice. My new TV!
Just doing a little batting practice of my own.
The ultimate baseball fan experience from Century Foods. Return the entry form found in the weekly ad to any Century by July 26th.
You're listening to Scalzo and Brust on 94.5 ESPN. Presented by Michelob Ultra. It's only worth it if you enjoy it.
One more time.
It's only worth it if you enjoy it. He's Ben Brust. I'm Greg Scalzo. Joshy DiMaggio on the ones and twos. Young Riley Yauk pumping his fist at the Everlight Solar ESPN Madison Studios downtown off the Capitol Square.
What up, Yauk?
Not much, Ben. How about you?
Yeah!
You, the Scalzo and Brust family, calling, texting 800-990-ESPN, 800-990-3776. And there's nobody who gets us more excited on a Friday than our guy Homer.
98% of the time.
You hear him every day, 2 to 4 on Homer and Tony, 94.5 ESPN Milwaukee. What's going on, Homer?
I don't know if there's much today. I'm curious as to what you can bring up.
Do you care at all about the schedule being released?
No, especially when the shows for the schedule are after everybody already has the schedule.
I agree with you on that.
That was, I mean, that can't happen. Who's ever in charge? You just can't. Not for just ours, but you have a national show on the NFL Network, and I think we had 5 or 6 teams in which their full schedule is out. I don't know what the number was, but yeah, it just can't happen. So,
do you want us to just pepper you with different questions?
That's usually how the interviews.
Well, no, he's saying like he's saying we got nothing. Like he's nervous.
I don't think there's. I mean, I'm curious how you're going to create some juice.
We got juice, baby. How much do you care about Simone Biles being the now First Lady of Wisconsin?
None. I mean, it's a nice story, but you know, after asking and everything, like, Is he any good? That's all that matters.
All right.
We're debating whether he gets a spot on the team just because he's married to her. I don't think so.
I don't think so either. What about this? Will
she's
the Packers
amazing.
have a
You look at all
1,000-yard receiver next year? Because you thought Lazard was going to be one like a clown.
It wasn't that far off. He got 780?
Wasn't that far off in
he got
17
cut.
games not to get 1,000 yards as the number one wide receiver with Aaron Rodgers as your quarterback? That's pretty far off.
I was wrong. I don't think it was that far off. So,
Jeez, even when you're wrong, you're insufferable.
Homer.
No, I said it was wrong. What
But
did
not
you
that
basically
far
call me
wrong.
an idiot, and I say I'm wrong. I knew you'd come up with something. And no, I don't. You basically just mocked the pick. I was wrong, but I don't think it was a horrible pick.
Homer, is the
If
Lincoln...
he had 412 yards, then it's a horrible pick.
Whatever.
You
Don't
should
care
know that
like
from
you
your
don't
grades
care.
in school.
Is the Lincoln Memorial closer to the most romantic or least romantic place to get engaged?
At least, unless you're both history majors.
Which team's gonna
I can't think of anybody that would do it.
describe the type of person that you think would get engaged, who lives in Wisconsin and would get engaged at the Lincoln Memorial?
Like I said, I don't know, somebody that's very proud American, military maybe, something like that.
Jesse Nelson would be the answer to that one. Which team's going to have the worst?
Well, no, the question, why?
We're still trying to figure that one out.
I can't think of anything less romantic. That'd be like getting engaged at a Walgreens. What?
Yeah.
I mean, I understand the importance. The Lincoln Memorial is great. I go there all the time when I'm in D.C., but I don't get it. There's got to be something there. There's got to be a reason.
If you were to do it again, Homer, where would you propose to your now wife?
Great question, because I didn't actually propose. I said, so when are we going to get married?
I forgot about that.
She was a little surprised. Wow. I don't know. I don't think the location is important. I mean, I know somebody who did it at Lambeau Field when they put it up on the Jumbotron, and they didn't even get married. So, I'm not sold by where. But all right, let's see. Let me think. Like if I was growing, if our sons or daughters asked where to do it, I would say I can't even think of a place.
You're such a romantic,
yeah,
Homer.
man. Valentine's Day is probably amazing with you. Homer, what are you excited about? I want to know what you're excited about. Packers schedule release, obviously, no.
I'm really excited. I want to see Jordan Love play. Totally excited about that.
Yeah, but that's 4 months away.
I know. Well, that's the problem. You asked me what I'm excited about. It's 4 months away. Yeah.
So no
there's not
excitement
a whole
around
lot
the
going on
Brewers.
for
Corbin Burns, the ace, is on the mound, try and get his stuff working, against the Royals tonight.
Yeah, I mean, I follow the Brewers, but I'm not that necessarily excited about. They have young players, and I'm amazed they're still the favorite to win their division. They haven't played that well. There's nobody really exciting on the team. I mean, who's I got to go see this person play. I mean,
Willie Adames is having himself a heck of a year.
Yeah, he would probably be the one. The problem with the Brewers is the best player, they want to have invested so much money in his average. And everybody would love. I mean, it was so great when Christian Yelich was good. Every time he got to the plate, you thought something good's going to happen. Something's good going to happen. Now when he goes to the plate, you go, Mr. Average has just stepped to the plate.
All right, so out on the Brewers, Packers don't play for 4 months. What about the Bucks? Greg Scalzo brought up a very
I said
important
today,
point.
I believe Tyronn Lue will be the next coach of the Bucks.
That's great. Why is that?
Does that
tell
excite
me why
you?
it's an upgrade over Bud.
What?
Tell me why it's an upgrade over Bud then.
There's no way you can tell anybody's an upgrade over Bud. No one coached as successful as Bud has ever been fired in the state of Wisconsin. I'm just trying to guess what they might want. I think Williams is going to get fired by the Phoenix Suns. The new owner doesn't like him, and so no, you can't
take Monty Williams in a heartbeat over Ty Lue.
Okay, fine then. You're not the. He would be an option too if he's going to be out. He's done well. Tyronn Lue's got a ring. I just would be shocked if they took someone that didn't have some level of success.
I still think it's Nick Nurse.
Especially experience with a really good team.
I still think it's Nick Nurse. That's
fine too.
That's my prediction. Lou, I think, is up there. And yeah, I mean, I said it earlier. It hurts me that this Bucks team is not getting ready to play one of these Sixers and Celtics teams that are just beating the absolute crap out of each other right now. But Homer, it sounds to me, based on the way that you're talking, that you really miss and are going to miss everything that surrounded Aaron Rodgers as the quarterback of the Green Bay Packers, because we never had moments or weeks where it was like, oh, what's up?
Well, yeah, but I mean that was him, but I don't know.
You're not going to miss that?
No.
You're not going to miss
it was nice. I mean, it's nice for us, but no, I don't. I only care about winning. The fascination with Aaron Rodgers was totally based on the fact that he was a very good quarterback. I'm just.
No. Your fascination extended beyond the fact that he's a very good quarterback. He's one of the most
fascination. No, there would have been no fascination if he wasn't any good.
Of course.
I don't care how crazy it is. No one would care. I wouldn't have cared. He was really good. So you care about what he does. Winning is everything.
When's the last time expectations were this low for the Packers? I mean, I was in college when Rodgers took over, so I don't remember.
Outside of him being hurt, are you saying?
Yeah, I mean, going into the season, he's never been hurt going into the season. When have expectations been this low when you look at the fact that the Packers are going to be road dogs against the worst team in the league last season, the Chicago Bears?
Yeah. As Vegas has said, the Bears were horrible and the Packers are just as bad, so we'll give the edge to the home team. Yeah. No, it has to be 90. Even when Mikowski was, replaced by the 80, 88, 89, Forrest Gregg was the head coach.
Oof.
Because there have been years where, they've had bad years, but you still had high expectations for the Packers. It's probably like, Forrest Gregg's near the end of his time. That long.
I mean, that's your entire life, Josh DiMaggio.
I wasn't born.
It is indeed.
I mean, is this...
Yeah.
Are Packers fans prepared for if the worst happens with the team this year, which in my opinion, Homer, you're not going to like this, is the best. Because to me, the best Packers season this year is Love is the guy. The young players get better, and they lose a lot of games and get a good draft pick, potentially a top 5 draft pick that they can then use to continue to build this core over the next, 2-3 years.
Yeah, I don't have a problem with that. It all depends on what you think Goody and Love can do, because if you don't think they can do anything, you want them to be epically horrible, so they make the change quicker. The hardest time as a Packer fan for me was Bart Starr's last year when I said I want them to lose every game. Why? Because they're never going to be special with Bart Starr, and they need to just be horrible, so they get rid of him. They actually weren't horrible, but they still got rid of him. That's the concern. If Goody's not special or Jordan Love's not special, you want them really to suck so they can move on.
Yep,
I don't know that they're that good, going to be that bad. I think it's more likely to be a case of kind of being in the middle.
I tend to agree, and I think the soft schedule certainly will help on that. Well, Homer, we'll try.
What do you take? What would be a good number of wins? What would you accept and say it's a good? If they have the same number of wins as last year,
I want them to win 4 games and have Jordan Love look like he has the potential to be a great quarterback. And some of those young wide receivers to be good, and then you get rid of Joe Barry and you build up the talent level, and you lose a lot of close games this upcoming year, but you kind of grow through it. And
is there a modern day example of that though?
Move.
Like the last 5 years?
I like the new kicker. Yeah,
because he'll lose a game.
He'll lose at least one.
Yeah.
Crosby is on his way to doing that.
The problem is if they lose that many games, it may be the reflection of the rest of the players on the team aren't that good, and then that's a reflection on Goody. It really has to, everything has to, they almost have to lose games they shouldn't, and the players are really young, and I just don't remember. I don't remember having that occur. I remember when you go I don't know, they'll figure out a way to lose, and it gets really, you what fans don't realize is how long a season can be. Because by about week 13, you're wondering, all right, who are they going to take in the draft? It's always the question, like, when are we going to start talking about the draft? And so the season feels like it's 30 weeks long. Hope it doesn't happen, but that's your answer about young. They have no idea. They've never experienced it. Whenever there's been a bad year, somebody got hurt, maybe the end of McCarthy, but you still had a very good quarterback, and that gives you a chance.
We'll see what we get this year. Vegas certainly doesn't believe. Packers fans seem to. Homer will try again next week. Thanks, Homer.
You bet. Bye.
Homer and Tony, weekdays 2 to 4, 94.5 ESPN Milwaukee.
Do you always do that?
What?
No. I don't know what happened. I just heard Greg hanging up, and I, by reflex, hit the thanks for the call.
I kind of like that.
Me too.
Kind of like that with callers and guests. And yeah.
We should thank him for the call.
We should thank everybody. We're thankful guys. We're grateful guys. It is Scalzo and Brust here. We'll come back with some 100 zeros. We're presented by Michelob Ultra.
You're listening to Scalzo and Brust, presented by Michelob Ultra.
I've established you as the roast beef guy, as your go-to.
Hey, do you want a turkey or ham? I'm roast beef.
I'm a turkey guy now.
Josh,
can't be a roast beef
Josh,
guy.
I got a chance
People
to
called
look
me
at
Strofe beef for a year because of you guys. Strofe beef.
Scalzo and Brust, available anywhere you get your podcasts with Wisconsin On Demand.
Still having some big problems on 41 southbound. It's closed off. You'll be diverted off at Swan Boulevard, all because of reports of shots fired. So, yeah, that's what you're going to have to deal with. If you can, don't use 41 at all, in either direction, actually, because everything is really slow heading up from the bypass through the zoo all the way up past that point. Now, of course, all of our alternate routes are really backed up as well, as you can imagine. But at this point, those would definitely be better than just sitting on the freeway, not going anywhere. Southbound 43 still heavy from Good Hope Road all the way down through the Marquette interchange, so keep that in mind. We've also got some backups all the way down onto 4394, and don't really let up till you get well past Lincoln Avenue. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast tonight, mostly cloudy, a chance of showers with a low of 52. Tomorrow, mostly cloudy, chance of showers, a high of 64 at the lake, 70 inland. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
It's time for you and that diamond to come alive again.
At the second annual Spring Ring Cleaning at Kessler's.
Even if you have a good ultrasonic jewelry cleaner, it can't match the pressurized steam cleaning we do at Kessler's.
Let us steam clean and polish your engagement ring.
For free.
I'm Joe Gerke, president of Kessler's, and we want to strip away all the soap scum that is making your diamond look dull.
For free. And while we're doing it, we'll inspect the prongs on your ring to make sure your diamond isn't about to fall out.
It's the second annual Spring Ring Cleaning at Kessler's.
Here's another idea. Bring us anything you own that needs to be repaired, and we'll give you a price to make it like new again.
And if you have some old jewelry you don't wear anymore,
We can make something unique and wonderful out of it.
unique in all the world.
Welcome to Kessler's.
To find the Kessler's nearest you, visit Kessler'sDiamonds.com.
What are you trying to do? I want to stand while I work. Standing desks are all the rage these days.
You know these new desks move up and down, right?
What? They do?
Yeah, they're not messing around here.
This is great. Now, only if I had a chair to swivel around in.
Do you not pay attention?
Well, no wonder I'm not getting much done these days.
Coakley Brothers and Brothers Interiors, the official moving and furniture provider of GKB Milwaukee.
After a crash with a semi-truck, everything can change instantly. At Gruber Law Offices, we have the knowledge and experience to make sure you're protected. And we're here to help whenever you need us. Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
Sunday Night Baseball is back on 94.5 ESPN.
There's a drive to right field, high and deep, down the line it is going, and it is a grand slam home run, and the Red Sox have broken it open.
It's a classic interleague matchup on Sunday in Beantown. The Red Sox host the slumping Cardinals.
A swing and a long drive. Left center field. That's a gunner!
5-4 Cardinals in the ninth.
Our coverage starts at 5 o'clock on Sunday night.
Trust the auto experts at Blaine's Farm and Fleet. You know us for tires and batteries, trust and care, offering unbeatable deals on name brand automotive supplies and service. Right now, buy any Trico or Michelin wiper blade, get the second half price. Save 10% on Craftsman truck boxes or Betterbilt job site boxes. And get a free $20 digital gift card when you buy 2 5-quart jugs of Pennzoil full synthetic motor oil. Tires and batteries, trust and care. A Blaine's Farm and Fleet promise since 1955.
I asked what kind of family she wanted. She said, a family like yours.
Learn more about adopting a teen at adoptuskids.org. You can't imagine the reward. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Adopt U.S. Kids, and the Ad Council.
You're listening to Scalzo and Brust on 94.5 ESPN. Missed any of the show? Find us on Wisconsin On Demand wherever you get your podcasts. It's free, it's everywhere, and it's for you.
Ultra, it's only worth it if you enjoy it. Make sure you enjoy it this weekend. He's Ben Brust. I'm Greg Scalzo. Shout out to our friends at Michelob Ultra. Josh, let's get right into some 1 or 0s.
Are you a 1 or a 0? That's the question you have to ask yourself. Are you a yes or a no?
There's no such thing as a gray area. Life is binary. It's just a 1 or a 0.
He is Ben Brust. I'm Greg Scalzo. We're your contestants for 1 or 0. Josh DiMaggio, your host. Yes, that's the question. We say 1 for yes, 0 for no. There is no gray area. Joshy, take it away.
For some reason, David Bakhtiari decided to go after the Packers and TJ Wallers about the Packers' schedule release video that every team posted by saying that a high school TikToker could have made something better. 1 or 0. Bakhtiari is just emulating his buddy Aaron Rodgers.
0, but it does make me think, like, D-Bach might want out. This is George Costanza trying to get fired from the Yankees right here.
Seinfeld reference, don't know it, but I'm putting 2 and 2 together here. Yeah, he openly said they're in a rebuild. He's at the part of his career where he's been paid a lot, and he probably wants to win. And this is a rebuild, whether people want to say it out loud or not. It is. And so, yeah,
did they rework his contract like earlier in the season, or am I dreaming that?
They did rework some of it, I believe.
But look, he still wants to get paid, but I just don't think he's like
excited to be a Green Bay Packer right now.
It certainly doesn't seem it.
Honestly,
he wasn't the only one, by the way, that ripped the Packers.
I don't know what the Packers even did.
Like Packers players?
No, I'm saying it wasn't. There was some schedule release videos from teams, particularly the Tennessee Titans, that many people loved and it went viral. And I think who else does good ones? Like I think the
Chargers.
Chargers famously do one, and the Packers tried to do it, and a lot of people made fun of it.
What I don't understand here is if somebody at ESPN Wisconsin posted a video I thought was subpar or not cool, I wouldn't immediately rush to Twitter to tell them I thought it stunk.
I agree. I'm just letting the people know, for those out there that aren't in the schedule release video world, that the Packers was widely mocked. Even when you clicked on it and just looked at the comments below, it was a lot of people were making fun of it. Now, I'm with you, Josh. If I was a player on the Packers, I might
voice that opinion to him directly. I'm sure you got his phone number.
Yeah. Tease him over.
Or you just group text like your guys on the team, be like, "Yo,
do it like Ben and I do." Talk
yeah,
crap about people.
D-Buck's going nuts on social. I don't mean going crazy, but like he's active right now. He's calling everything out.
Yeah.
Conspiracy theories. What else has been the new one that he's done?
He's politics.
Politics. That's right. Congress bills about stocks.
Two-party system. He's not a fan. A YouTuber.
Never heard that before.
It was quite odd when Aaron Rodgers jumped in the fray and said, "You finally woken up," which was ironic. A YouTuber who intentionally crashed his plane after parachuting out of it is facing 20 years in prison. The YouTuber admitted he did the stunt for views and sponsorships. 1-0. 20 years is too light of a punishment.
1. I am of the belief that we need to punish the YouTube video social media pranksters. Like you should be arrested, jailed, and I'm somebody who doesn't even believe in jail for the most part. I want them locked up like animals. They are the most.
You're our app guy.
They're the worst people on this. No, I shouldn't say it like that. They're among the worst people in the world. Like when you're making other people's life miserable simply to get views on social media, that to me is as despicable as anything.
Don't I make yours and Josh's life miserable to get views on Twitter?
No.
I'm joking.
If you crashed a plane and I had to deal with the aftermath, then you would make my life awful.
I mean, I saw a video where somebody just started throwing waters at like a coffee store employee. And then they gave him a new water because he was like, oh, it slipped out of my hand. He threw it back at him. And it's like, what? Like, it's horrible.
I know, and you can't like punch him in the face because then it'll just be like,
there's
man, like I got to do a reaction video. I just got punched in the face, and you're a loser.
To the prank videos, they always seem to be preying on people who work jobs that are already like will grind you. They're like service workers of some sort, and then it's like leave the person in the drive-thru alone. They don't want to be there that bad. I promise.
So much for those views and sponsorships. Am I right?
Today, a meme that seemingly appears every few months showed up again, asking if you would rather take the red pill that restarts you at age 6 with all the knowledge you have now, or the blue pill that gives you $10 million in cash. 1 or 0. Everyone who takes the red pill is a bozo.
I'm going to go with 0.
Yeah, I'm a 0. I take the red pill. I start at age 6 with all the knowledge I have now? Or $10 million in cash?
Yeah.
Joshy, I would make $10 million by the time I was 10 years old.
No one's going to listen to 6-year-old Greg Scalzo telling them to buy
They
Apple.
They don't need to.
How are you going to buy Apple stock? What are you going to do to gain money as a 6-year-old?
Well, I'm not. I'm
not
even saying. Hold on. I'm not even saying this is me going back in time at 6 years old. If that was the case, then it would be the biggest no-brainer. I'm saying if tomorrow I woke up on May 13th, 2023, as a 6-year-old with everything I know now, it would take me 4 years to make $10 million. As a 6-year-old? You know how absurd that is?
Hang on. Yeah, I need the business plan. I need some details
You're in
right
kindergarten.
now.
Yeah, I'm 6.
You don't even know how to wipe your ass yet.
I don't even care about the money, right? Because by the time I'm 31, I definitely have over $10 million. The joy of being a 6-year-old at this point, being taken care of, like...
Imagine sitting in elementary school with the brain of a 34-year-old as you guys are doing penmanship class.
But then the teacher immediately recognizes you are a genius, and then everyone celebrates you as the smartest person in the world because now you're like a college graduate who people are looking at in the body of a 6-year-old, and you're 6 years old. I would be running Mensa, Joshy. I'd be on Time Magazine. I
think you'd be
locked
up.
Actually, you know what? The business plan makes sense now.
Yes, because everyone immediately recognizes that I'm the smartest kid ever. I could get big organizations and think tanks to invest in me.
TikTok.
They probably don't realize that my brain and intelligence is going to grow because I'm guessing as a fully developed 31-year-old brain, I would like burn out at some point into the sun. But yeah, it'd be interesting. Now, I don't know as 6-year-old, like, yeah, you can still sneak down into your parents' to have a Michelob Ultra right into the fridge and just like, hey, on a Friday night, just would I be allowed to as a 6-year-old?
No, you're 6.
But I have the brain of a 31-year-old.
Yeah, but
or 34-year-old.
Brain. But
I just gave
one
myself
Mick
3 years.
Ultra and you're wasted.
You know what they would do?
But it's a fully developed brain. The concern is that it hurts your brain.
You would end up in like one of the like a boarding school. They'd lock you away.
That happened once, and they kicked me right out. I mean, the idea, I guess, if anything, I guess the one concern that I would have is at some point, like, I would be like a child star almost. That would be my biggest concern. Is by the time I get back to 34,
what does 17-year-old Greg look like?
Yeah.
Disheveled.
I think 6 through 12 is like prime time. Like once. It's also a weird thing. This is a really weird one. It also brings.
Have you never seen this?
It also brings you down like.
I feel like he's never seen this on social media.
I haven't.
Be surprised.
I haven't. And so you thought about this?
This keeps everybody up at night when they scroll by.
I don't think about it twice. I take my $10 million and I live a happy life.
So am I like into girls at 6 years old? Because as like a 6-year-old boy, you're generally not.
Is your wang even?
I have no idea.
Can I say that?
Say what? You're being awkward. Now you just made this whole thing awkward.
I plead the fifth on the rest of this conversation.
All right. Hillsy chimes in 800-990-ESPN, 800-990-3776 and says, does 6-year-old Scalzo still white better than a 30-year-old Brust? Absolutely.
He's got the same brain.
Same brain. Hand-eye coordination a little bit off, but as long as I get the same brain, I'll be okay.
You're still going to grow to be 5'6".
Cool. I mean, I'm 5'7", but it doesn't really matter. I was actually proven to be 5'7". You were proven to be 6 feet.
6'1".
6 feet and 7/8.
6'1".
6 feet and 7/8.
Don't do this.
Benny, why don't you tell us about Screamin' Sicilian Pizza and how all 6 foot and 7/8 of you enjoys it?
Well, here's the thing. A 6-year-old Greg Scalzo would be ahead of the game. If you were 6,
so true,
and you know, like, hey, kids come over, like buddies, friends. Actually, you wouldn't probably hang out with any of those pipsqueak brains in your class. But you'd be smart enough to put a Screamin' Sicilian Pizza in the oven. 2.5 feet of stuffed crust cheese in the Screamin' Sicilian I'm Stuffed Pizza, plus the thin and crispy for all those, like, little kids, that, like, I don't know, their appetites aren't as advanced as yours with your 31-year-old brain. This read is going to sound so weird to Palermo.
Friends would be tough, by the way, as a 6-year-old with a 34-year-old brain. Like, you'd have to be friends with adults, but I think I could pull it off.
You're gonna be playing house with kids outside.
No, I'd be
I
would be in some fortress, in Washington D.C. with like all these think tanks, and
the only fortress they're putting you in is one that has barbed wire fences.
Oh, that could also happen at some point. Padded walls.
Bessie's Revenge is the cheese. The holy pepperoni speaks for itself. Mother of meat. Supremus Maximus. Mambo Italiano. Find your screaming pleasure in your local grocer's freezer.
800-990-ESPN, 800-990-3776. Friday on Scalzo and Brust, presented by Michelob Ultra.
You're listening to Scalzo and Brust, presented by Michelob Ultra.
Clearly, you can have incredible talents and just be totally screwed up.
Were you referencing me?
No.
Okay, I just
not at all. You're not screwed
that.
up at all. You're one of the best salespeople I've ever dealt with. I mean, on the air, you're weird.
Scalzo and Brust, available anywhere you get your podcasts with Wisconsin On Demand. They talk about everything, but sports always comes first.
The Packers believe enough in Jordan Love that they have signed a deal so that he's their guy for the next 2 years. The option would have been to do nothing. Then you can decide next year if you want to get rid of him after a year.
No, this is going to cost you too much money. That's why they didn't. They got him at a
Cost
discount.
him anything. No, he plays next year. He sucks. You just get rid of him and get another quarterback. If you think that he sucks, they don't think he sucks.
The problem is that I don't think they're willing to evaluate him on 1 year.
Spend your afternoons with Homer and Tony, weekdays 2 to 4 on 94.5 ESPN.
Woo! I am thirsty today. Definitely going to need a cold one. There's the one. I'm back with Broken Bat Brewery's founder, Tim Pauly, who's going to give us the inside scoop on what's on deck this summer at Broken Bat Brewery.
Usually around 14 to 16 beers on tap, a couple more in cans available. We're super excited to launch a food truck partnership this summer coming in May. That'll be a 7-day-a-week operation, so we'll be adding food to the repertoire. And again, of course, we got the indoor wiffle ball field, man. You can rent it out for birthday parties, bachelor parties, bachelorette parties. If it's fun, you can't take it too seriously. It's legitimately a kid's game that you get to drink some craft beer with. And we're right in the heart of downtown Milwaukee, so I can't beat the location. Great beer, great staff. I can't beat it. That's Broken Bat in a nutshell.
Thanks again to Tim for all the insight on all the great things happening at Broken Bat Brewery. Remember, folks, whether it's games or not, the fridge is always stocked.
ESPN Radio Extra Point with Harry Douglas.
You talk about a guy who's able to do it right from the three-point line, off the dribble, in the paint, mid-range game. And I think the most impressive for me, being 6'1", you don't find many guys the size of Jalen Brunson that can do it like with their back to the basket. So a lot of times where he's putting defenders, on his back, and then he's going into what he wants to do offensively. But then he also has the awareness, if it's not there, to get the ball to the proper guy so they can hit an open shot. I just think he's so controlled. He's never sped up, or the defense doesn't speed him up on what he's trying to do offensively. And he's everything that New York Knicks fans want in a point guard.
Drowning in IRS debt? If you can't afford to pay your IRS debt due to economic hardship, you can now be free of IRS collection efforts by taking advantage of a special IRS tax hardship program. This program allows Americans who owe the IRS to resolve their delinquent tax debt once and for all. In some cases, maybe even reducing what you owe significantly. An open phone line has been established by Community Tax for consumers to call and see if they qualify. Simply dial 800-241-5944. If you owe back taxes to the IRS and cannot afford to pay them back or have years of unfiled tax returns, help is standing by. Just call the Community Tax Helpline today at 800-241-5944 for the help that you need. Don't take on the IRS alone. They can attack your wages, savings, pension, home, and even your Social Security check. Call 800-241-5944 to see if you qualify. That's 800-241-5944.
All Brewers games are on sale now. Next up, the Crew battles the Royals for a weekend duel. Friday, May 12th through Sunday, the 14th. Fulfill your Jedi destiny at Star Wars Night on Saturday, the 13th, and receive a Luke Skywalker bobblehead with purchase of a special ticket package. Plus, take home a one-of-a-kind Brewers wristlet for 10,000 moms on Mother's Day. Sunday, May 14th, presented by American Family Insurance. Get your seats today at brewers.com/promotions.
It's Scalzo and Brust on 94.5 ESPN. Presented by Michelob Ultra. It's only worth it if you enjoy it.
Friday across ESPN Wisconsin. Ben Brust, Greg Scalzo, Joshie DiMaggio, Young Riley Yout. You, the Scalzo and Brust family, on Twitter at Scalzo Brust, calling, texting 800-990-ESPN. On a red pill, blue pill hypothetical that apparently everybody in the world knew other than me, I said I would rather be 6-year-old with my brain than a me right now with $10 million. You think I'm crazy for that, Joshy? Teddy from Watertown asks, can Benny just go back to being 6 and not lose all the knowledge he has lost since 6? It would be an upgrade if he could just go back to being 6 years old. Oof. Sadler in Madison says, Benny is a 6-year-old boy in a man's body.
The hell is that?
Ooh. It's the second one you got taken out at. You missed the first one. Joe in the Boonies says, Genius Greg would probably be bullied mercilessly. Like, how many 6-year-olds are going to know what it's like to drink Michelob Ultra? Only me? But that's the thing. I wouldn't even be around 6-year-olds. They would have to elevate me into adult rooms constantly. Now, Anita in West Bend has an interesting perspective. She says, as a teacher, anyone who chooses the red pill is for sure a bozo. I'm picturing a small feral child with no impulse control, knowing far too much for their age. It's terrifying. I would be terrifying. But the thing is,
you would be so terrifying.
I'm guessing with my brain, I'm taking this like I have my impulse control, right? Like I have my mind. Like I have that maturity.
How's your impulse control right now?
better than a 6-year-old is the point. Like, I could understand if all you had was the knowledge, but you still had the maturity of a 6-year-old. That's a whole nother story. But I'm assuming I'm just taking my mind and putting it into a 6-year-old.
How do you think 6-year-old Greg Scalzo getting caught having a Michelob goes down?
That wasn't my best point. But here's the other one. I would be the greatest child actor of all time.
Would you be listening to the Grateful Dead at age 6?
Yeah. It's what my brain likes now. Why wouldn't my brain like it then? And like, I would be the greatest child actor ever. You could read, you could do all of the things like
you're not
in a 6-year-old body.
You're not going to be reading Dostoevsky. They're not going to let you. They're going to think something's wrong with you.
No, but they're not. They're going to think I'm a genius.
Spot Run.
No, there's no way there's no way that they could keep me in those rooms.
Hey, and here's the question. Does he go back into the 6-year-old in 2023 or the 6-year-old back when he was 6 years old?
It really depends because, I mean, starting from this point forward, I don't know how much money you can make other than going through acting forward because, like, if you have the same brain, you could just become a millionaire now. Like, I don't know.
No, because the idea of being a 6-year-old with that mental capacity means that you can accomplish so much more than a 34-year-old.
Who's going to let you open up a bank account?
I'm going to be able to explain to them a bank account. I could do things that nobody else my age could do, and people who are special can monetize being special. Like, I think John in the 414 says the same things. If Greg can make $10 million in 4 years with his current brain and his 6-year-old body, what is keeping you from making $10 million in 4 years now? Because there's 10 million people who are as smart as I am at my age right now. There would be one person as smart as me at 6 years old. I would be the smartest 6-year-old in the world. And with that, you could do a lot.
Josh, do you know why I'm laughing?
What?
Just the fact that he just discovered this.
John in the 414 says Dookie Scalzo.
Doogie?
Doogie?
Yeah.
Oh, I think
Like
it's Doogie.
No,
like,
Doogie
like taking
Howser,
a poop,
MD.
Pooping in your pants, 6-year-old.
If I did, it was a Freudian slip. Brian in Waukesha says, is there an option for Ben to have his current body instead of mine
Whoa.
and go back to being a 6-year-old so he can dominate the middle school basketball leagues?
Come on! This wasn't even about me. I'm getting taken out.
Would you take that deal, though?
Hell yeah!
Let's go to Brent and Madison. Brent, welcome to Scalzo and Brust. We're presented by Michelob Ultra. By the way, if I haven't seen this, then
I just love that you're like, I can sneak a Michelob Ultra.
Well, I think I'd need to, right? With my mind?
With a 6-year-old being a 34-year-old
How
mind,
am I
you gotta have
He's
vices.
bumming cigarettes at 6 years old.
Oh, 1,000%. And I got everything fresh, fresh lungs, whole deal. Brenton Madison, welcome to Scalzo and Brust. What's up?
Hey guys, how's it going?
Good, yourself?
I'm pretty good. I'm taking the red pill, but I'm thinking long game. I'm 49, so I would just save up my Christmas money, my birthday money. I'd sit out until I was 18, and then I'd be like, you know what? This Google thing looks pretty good. I'm going to buy some of that or some of this Prime stuff when it comes out. I would be a billionaire by I was 30.
Dude, that's so true,
I would know every single Super Bowl winner from when I was 18 on.
Well, yeah, if you could go back in time, definitely, 100%.
Dude, I'd be the best.
Thank you for the call. Thank you, Brent Madison. Yeah, I mean, the other thing too is like you could start working so much earlier. Like I've got a mind of like a 34-year-old.
Not so much anymore.
No. Can't do work online. Like I could freelance all day.
Screw lemonade stands.
My earning potential, my earning years are that much greater. And I'm a 6-year-old, so I never have to do laundry, I never have to do dishes, I never have to cook. Everything's done for me. 6-year-olds have the life. 10-year-olds have the life. You kidding me? Playing Little League Baseball? How much fun was that? I could play video games like Ben does. I would be streaming with Brust. I would be playing Call of Duty with them.
They don't allow you on Twitch until you're 16, I think.
He's not on Twitch.
You said we'd be streaming, so I think that's where he was going.
Isn't that what it's called when you play together and you got the headsets and the walkie-talkies and you're talking back and forth?
Simply just playing online with
They're
your buddies.
squadding up.
Okay.
We have the COD squad as the text group.
414 says anyone with kids shouldn't go back. You cannot. Well, all right. Now we're talking about erasing your child's existence. Yes, if that is into account, I would not go back. That's totally fair. I would not go back.
I'd erase mine in a heartbeat.
You don't have children.
What?
I thought you were saying it would erase your childhood.
No, they're saying if you've got kids, you shouldn't go back. Saying you cannot guarantee that you will have the same kid. You would erase your child's existence.
I just started thinking about all the times in middle school that I was bullied and that I'd come home crying. I just want to erase that.
You would erase every memory of your childhood if you had an option?
Ugh, in a heartbeat. Fresh canvas.
We're going to talk about the Milwaukee Bucks. Coming up next, presented by Michelob Ultra. Back in 2 minutes. Scalzo and Brust.
Southbound 41 continues a heavy ride, all because of its closure right at Watertown Plank Road. You'll be diverted off at Swan Boulevard, and it's making for some big delays. The northbound side, everybody's slowing down to take a look at this as well. There's reports of shots fired in that area. Southbound on 43, going to be slowing down from Good Hope Road all the way down into the Marquette interchange. Give yourself tons of extra time through there. And we also have an accident on 94 eastbound in Johnson Creek, right about at Highway F. The left lane is blocked. That's why you got delays east of Highway 26. And check out the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast tonight. Mostly cloudy, a chance of showers, a low of 52. Tomorrow, mostly cloudy, slight chance of showers, a high of 64 at the lake, 70 inland. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
Ben Brust here for my favorite racetrack in North America, and that is Road America. Race fans, it's time to make your summer plans for fast family fun at Elkhart Lakes Road America. Experience 10 major races from vintage weekends to high-thrill NASCAR racing at the best NASCAR track in America. Bring the entire family for more affordable fun with on-site camping, free parking, and most of all, free admission for kids 16 and younger. See the full race schedule at roadamerica.com. Road America, America's national park of speed.
Your first date? Going well. The carnival? Cash only. But you've got this, just like Associated Bank's got you, with access to over 30,000 surcharge-free ATMs. So when you decide to win that giant stuffed purple raccoon at $5 a throw, we're looking out for you, no matter how many throws it takes. You've got this, with 30,000 surcharge-free ATMs from Associated Bank. See associatedbank.com/checking or ask a banker for details. Member FDIC.
Hey, Greg Scalzo here. You're listening to 94.5 ESPN, WKTI, and WKTI HD Milwaukee.
A locally owned Good Karma brand station.
For your sports talk fix every day from 4 to 6, it's Scalzo and Brust. For your sports talk fix every day from 4 to 6, it's Scalzo and Brust. For your sports talk fix every day from 4 to 6, it's Scalzo and Brust. For your sports talk fix every day from 4 to 6, it's Scalzo and Brust.
Live from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All studios at the Avenue.
Party, baby.
This is Scalzo and Brust, presented by Michelob Ultra
party, baby.
on 94.5 ESPN and Wisconsin On Demand.
It's a party, baby. Woo! It's a party, baby.
Second hour of Scalzo and Brust here, presented by me, Ben Brust. Greg Scalzo went home for the day. He went to go take the red pill, become a 6-year-old child actor.
He's
working overtime.
That never works.
The authenticity that he felt as if it would potentially come true was probably my favorite part. Oh, hey, he's back.
Hey, what's up, dude?
Greg Scalzo here.
Presented by Michelob Ultra. It's only worth it if you enjoy it.
As a 6-year-old. Just kidding. Drink responsibly.
800-990-3771. Tom in Milwaukee says...
Wait.
71.
Whoa, 71.
800-990-ESPN. 800-990-3776. I was looking at John in the 414. Says, Mom, why is Dad younger than me? I'm taking my whole family out of the equation on that.
You can't do that.
Well, in that case, then I wouldn't go back to being a 6-year-old. Like, am I shrinking into a 6-year-old in my current life where, like, I'm still married to my wife? Like, the hypothetical that way doesn't work.
We could believe Greg going back and being a 34-year-old man in a 6-year-old body, but his family now to the picture, that's a step too far.
Yeah, 100%. I was thinking about it back as like me as a 6-year-old, and I don't know what that would look like. Tom in Milwaukee says his parents would get all his money at 6, though. No, I'm smart. I'm 34. I can figure this out. My bank account. That's how the whole thing works. I do want to get back to the Milwaukee Bucks conversation. Some more playoff games going on tonight. We could end up with 4 Game 7s if everything plays out the right way here in the NBA semifinals. Yeah. 3 would be on Sunday. 1 would be on Monday. No games tomorrow. No NBA games.
Am I losing my mind? The Sun series is over.
Did it end last night?
Yeah, they lost by 30.
Oh, yeah. No, you're right. Sorry. You're totally right. There could be 3 Game 7s. And so I think as I've been following the playoffs, particularly this round.
Really closely, might I
Very
add.
closely. Very closely. I said I was at this event with the Brewers last night.
I was
live
joking.
streaming the Eastern Conference semifinals, though.
Fair.
At the table. Sorry, Christian Yelich. And
Cool.
Thank you. The thing that continues to stick out to me is how everything throughout this playoff series has played out exactly as you'd want it to play out. From the Eastern Conference, where you expected to win round 1, right? So you'd be playing the New York Knicks right now as the number 1 seed, something that some years the Bucks have cared about, some years they haven't. This year, seemingly, they cared about it. And when they were able to actually get into the first round, they weren't able to take care of business against the Heat. But if they did, if they happen to win,
you can say that. We can live in this if, because the team was made up of championship caliber players that were on a championship team no less than 2 years ago.
Yeah. I completely agree. You would be taking on the Knicks, in which you would be favored significantly in every game of that series. This Knicks team is not a good Knicks team.
I would even argue, the Bucks were still favored by like 8 points in games that they lost outright to the Heat. I think they'd be favored by more against the Knicks than they would have against the Heat.
I'm saying if this Bucks team was playing like it was 2 months ago instead of 2 weeks ago, right? That Bucks team rolls through the Knicks, and they've got Celtics, Sixers waiting for them after a slug it out, knock them out, drag them out Game 7 series. That lines up so beautifully to take on a Western Conference that right now is producing Nuggets taking on the winner of Lakers Warriors, and that series is starting to beat those teams up a little bit.
Yep.
Older teams, the Warriors who look like the most vulnerable they ever have, the Lakers who are
frauds.
LeBron James carrying the load and Anthony Davis sometimes getting it done, but every other game getting hurt to the point where you're like, I don't know if he's going to be back or not.
I'm not going to sit here and be like, hey, watch out for Denver.
This was the Bucks' year.
I know. So was 2019. So was last year when Chris Middleton got hurt. Again,
but last year that Warriors team came on strong. That Celtics team was still very good. I know people are always going to say, well, Middleton was healthy.
But the matchup of the Warriors versus Bucks, like that is, last year the Bucks would have wiped the Warriors.
I guess we say that, but again, like my point is this year more than ever, it seems like things were lining up for the Bucks, and that level of frustration is just significantly higher.
Well, which I honestly, Joshy, which year hurts the most? 2019 Eastern Conference loss, 2021 against the Celtics with Chris Middleton hurt. Was that 2021-22, and then 2022-23. Heat series, and I honestly don't know if I'm going to say the Heat series because they lost so significantly. It never felt as if they had a chance.
This past one is hard to really gauge because, I tuned out after I wasn't even into the series anymore when it seemed to be going that way. Like 3-1 at that point, I had kind of given up. It felt hopeless right away.
See, it never did for me because this Bucks team. if they were playing the right basketball, could have won the whole thing. So at any point, I was like, oh, even down, they need to win 3 in a row, win 5. Then all you got to do is win 6.
When they were down 3-1, we were like, all right, they got this.
Yeah, but I watched the 3 previous games where it was like, oh, they've got a shot. Oh, no, they don't. They've got nothing.
Yeah, but you could do that so many times in the NBA in so many different games.
Well, you asked me my opinion, man. I'm giving it to you.
I don't like it.
800-990-ESPN, 800-990-3776, an everyday hero, the official Amazon driver, the Scalzo and Brust family. It is Terrence. Terrence, what's going on, my man?
What's up, guys? Hey, listen, really quick. I got to hurry up here. I'm trying to get to the end of my route, but I think tonight should be a great game. I think the Lakers are going to take it, but I want to talk about the NFL schedule quick. The Packers are coming to Pittsburgh. I'm going to hang up and see what you guys think of that. And Benny, if you want to put a bet on that, I'm in on it, $100.
He's taking the Steelers.
Yeah, I'm taking the Steelers too, bud. Terrence is a Pittsburgh Steelers fan, if you didn't know that.
Correct.
I have them 5-12 this year, so I'm not going to put money against myself.
I'm excited to see them go to Pittsburgh. I always like seeing the Steelers and the Packers play. Why are you confused about that?
I mean, just because of the Super Bowl?
No, I wasn't even thinking about the Super Bowl.
Tomlin.
I just like the Steelers as an opponent.
I do too, but the Packers ruined this completely. Sure, the history, the G, the seeing the jerseys out there will be cool, but they're gonna get their butts kicked.
I'm not saying
What about Kenny Pickett made you think there's going to be a butt kicking?
I agree. That's a team that is going to be playing a close game after close game after close game. Good defense, young quarterback. We'll see what it looks like.
What are the Packers good at?
The Packers?
Yeah.
Got good running backs?
Yeah, that's great. They had good running backs last year.
Yeah? They won 8 games.
I'm going to be honest. I would bet on Jordan Love before Kenny Pickett. I know Kenny. I've seen him for a year. He stunk.
You don't know Jordan Love, though. That's why I don't
right.
like that.
I'm hoping there's at least a case to be made.
I think Jordan Love is in a better position to succeed this year than Kenny Pickett is. It's his 4th year, and his 4th year in the same system with Matt LaFleur. That stuff matters. And I do think that Jordan Love is going to be better than maybe you think he's going to be, Ben, but I also don't think he's going to be a world beater out of the gate. I think the big thing is making sure, that wasn't a sneeze, is making sure, did I not hit the cough button in time? Damn cough buttons. The biggest thing is going to be what you can get from him that you can grow in future years. 800-990-ESPN, 800-990-3776. Want to give a shout out to Cedar Ridge Distillery, the original 86 bourbon, the best-selling bourbon in Iowa for the 3rd year in a row, now making home here in Wisconsin, the quintessential, one of the highest awarded American single malts of 2022, top 8 whiskey of the year by 2022 by wine enthusiasts, and of course the Scalzo and Brust private barrel bourbon and rye whiskeys available at Discount Liquor in both Waukesha and in Milwaukee. Cedar Ridge, we went down to Swisher, Idaho to make those whiskeys for you. The Scalzo and Brust family. Pick them up. Enjoy them. We're coming back. We're pole dancing next. It's Scalzo and Brust.
You're listening to Scalzo and Brust, presented by Michelob Ultra.
This is what happens when we leave those two together.
What did we do?
We didn't do anything.
You guys,
I don't know if
we got Aaron Rodgers' #1 supporter and Brian Gutekunst's #1 supporter.
You guys create a super soldier of stupidity over there.
Scalzo and Brust, available anywhere you get your podcasts with Wisconsin On Demand.
Southbound 41 has reopened. We had it closed for the longest time at Watertown Plank Road, all because of a report of shots fired at Swan Boulevard. Everything's reopened, slowly but surely getting better. It's still 54 minutes, though, from Highway Q to the zoo. The northbound side is going to be about 28 to get from the zoo to Highway Q. Southbound 43, riding the brakes from about Good Hope Road all the way down through the Marquette till about the KK River. That's where it really starts to open up. And in Johnson Creek, eastbound 94, we have the left lane blocked at Highway F because of an accident, so we've got some localized delays in that neck of the woods as well. And checking the TMJ4 Storm King forecast. Tonight, mostly cloudy with a chance of showers, a low of 52. Tomorrow, mostly cloudy, slight chance of showers, a high of 64 at the lake, 70 inland. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
Hi, it's John Reitz from Great Midwest Bank. And you know, there's more to being a local Wisconsin bank than perfectly pronouncing Oconomowoc or Waukesha. Or is it Waukesha? But rest assured, at Great Midwest Bank, we understand the local community and economy because we're a part of it. At GMB, we provide customized lending products that others just can't offer. Experience a hometown banking difference. Head to greatmidwestbank.com. Great Midwest Bank, your simply local equal housing lender.
Even when you think you know what's going on,
I'm just not buying it. Having lived in New England for 22 years.
You think a lot of the fair weathers are going to start to...
You can never be too sure.
Yeah, when they stink, they're like, okay, we like the Giants. That's what I did.
Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
You know what I mean?
So this is just convenient theories for Chew.org.
Morning 7 to 9 on 94.5 ESPN and available wherever you get your podcasts with Wisconsin On Demand.
Hear that? That's the sound of people taking Chicagoland's newest and best casino out for a spin. Only at the Temporary by American Place. Try your hand at over 20 table games. Give hundreds of new slots a whirl. There's restaurants, bars, and much more. You want action? Well, today's your lucky day at the Temporary by American Place. Now open.
Must be 21 years of age or older. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, crisis counseling and referral services can be accessed by calling 1-800-GAMBLER, 1-800-426-2537.
Homer, Tony, living in perfect harmony. Yeah, right.
Jordan Love's been the quarterback on this show for 2 months or 40 days.
Yeah. Suddenly, next year is real with Jordan Love.
Yeah, they're going to win 6 or 7 games. Yeah.
Oh,
no, the key is
oh, no. 6 or 7?
That's what they did.
I don't
want to
sit through 6 or 7.
Rodgers happened to him his first year.
Listen to Homer and Tony weekdays from 2 to 4 on 94.5 ESPN and wherever you get your podcasts with Wisconsin On Demand.
Hey, this is Gary Ellison for my good friends at the Jewelry Center. It's the only place I go when I'm looking to get some new jewelry. Dean and his team are always friendly and know just what I'm searching for when I stop by. I may not always know what type of jewelry I want, but the professionals there sure do. Plus, if I need repairs on watches or other jewelry, the Jewelry Center does that too. Find the Jewelry Center in Burlington, Brookfield, and Greenfield, or shop their entire collection online, including their popular Lightbox lab-grown diamonds at shoptjc.com.
Seriously injured? Call Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
What is dedication? People ask, how your children learn how to ride a bike and you didn't? I just created an environment where they taught themselves and all I had to do was be there. That's dedication. Visit fatherhood.gov to hear more. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
You're listening to Scalzo and Brust on 94.5 ESPN. Missed any of the show? Find us on Wisconsin On Demand wherever you get your podcasts. It's free, it's everywhere, and it's for you.
Michelob Ultra. You okay?
I'm good.
You're on camera. You just started the segment with
smacking my eyes a little bit.
It's a little smack to the face. You never do that though. That's what I do to get myself going a little bit.
Yeah, I usually just do push-ups. Should we do some push-ups?
Get down, give us 20. Josh DiMaggio running the show. Young Riley Yauk holding it down at the Everlight Solar Studios. Downtown in Madison. We're hanging out here at the Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all studios in Milwaukee. Well, Ben Brust is pumping out some push-ups. I got to tell you about my friends at American Family Insurance. AmFam.com to find your local American Family Insurance agent. I love working with AmFam.
They've got questions.
Because as a first-time homeowner, did you hear that? Ben Brust is doing push-ups. We're all over the place right now.
Oh my God, what the hell just
Friday
happened?
energy. Because as a first-time homeowner, AmFam was there to help me through every step of the process from finding the right home policy, answered all of our questions, working with the agent that we knew because we already invested with them as far as auto insurance. And when you protect both your home and auto with American Family, you can save up to 28%. So not only did we get the discount there, but we had somebody we knew, somebody we trust, which is what you get with AmFam because you have a local agent working with you. That's what you should go and find at amfam.com. They also help on the back end when you need to submit a claim. Every step of the process, they're there to answer your questions, help guide you through the process. You're not waiting on hold, nameless, faceless, 800 number, dealing with all the stress that comes with it. Nope, you get better with American Family Insurance. So find your local American Family Insurance agent at amfam.com. I don't know what's going on. You're doing push-ups. He's starting segments that aren't even supposed to be started today.
What segment did he start?
Over-under?
No, it was pole dancing.
Was it?
Yeah.
Let's do it again.
They've got questions,
yeah.
and we've got answers. Time to give the people what they want. Let's go pole dancing on Scalzo and Brust.
Hit the headphone. Every week we go up and down the dial, 94.5 ESPN Milwaukee, 100.5 ESPN Madison, 1430 ESPN Beaver Dam, home of the Golden Beavers. Say shout out Dodge County.
Shout out to Dodge County.
To all of our fellow shows, all of our fellow hosts, to the questions they themselves couldn't answer, and we say, you know what? We will help you out. We'll answer those questions for you. Joshua, what do we got this week?
This first one comes from Jen, Gabe, and Chewy, which you can hear 7 to 9 a.m. on 94.5 ESPN Milwaukee. What will the Packers' record be heading into their bye, Week 6 this season? 4-1, 3-2, 2-3, or 1-4?
I got to stick with the schedule game that we played yesterday. I mean, I have them 5-12, but I did have them off to a 2-3 start, which is almost half the wins that I have them for the season. But I think they really do beat the Bears in Week 1 just because the Bears are a losing franchise and they're still going to have to learn how to win. Matt LaFleur has won 13 games 3 years in a row before the 8-9. Like, I think that's enough to get them by a Bears team that is still kind of in a rebuild as well.
Well, for sticking with the schedule game, you had them losing that first week.
No, I hadn't beaten the Bears.
No, you had them losing.
Swear to God, I hadn't beaten them.
Right out of the gate, you had them losing. I'm going to say 2-3 as well.
You're right.
Yeah, I know. 3-2, 2-3 is where I would stick to. It's going to be really bad if they're 1-4. It's going to be really good if they're 4-1. If they're 1-4, at that point, the best course of action is to get the best draft pick possible. I think they're going to be in that 2-3, 3-2.
If they're 1-4, they should sign Amari Rodgers back to the team.
Let's stick with John, Gabe, and Chewy here and go to who is now the biggest leader in the locker room for the Packers.
I like this question a lot. Shout out to that crew. Are you going to give the options?
You jumped right in. But,
sorry.
Jordan Love, 27%. David Bakhtiari, 47%. Kenny Clark, 18%, or other.
I'm going to say Jordan Love at 27%. And I know that seems like, well, he's just this first-year starter. He needs to be the leader based on his position. It's his fourth year with the team and with a lot of these teammates, right, because there's been so much continuity as there normally is. David Bakhtiari is calling out the team's social media like he's part of the old regime. And that's going to be awkward in the locker room. There was an old regime. They need to implement a new regime. I think it's Jordan Love. I think he's going to be the biggest leader in the locker room for the Packers, for better or worse. And I think he'll learn some leadership lessons this year, but you want him to be the leader.
I don't know how Kenny Clark's on this list or even has 18% of the votes. Like,
maybe they're thinking of someone on defense.
Great, but like
I don't know much about his leadership skills.
It's for me. You can definitely be a vocal leader or a lead by example. He's not been as consistent as he needs to for the money he's getting paid. D-Bach, you hit it on the head. He's halfway out the door mentally. It's Jordan Love. The answer is Jordan freaking Love. He is the quarterback. They're going to, like, it's not Aaron Jones. Aaron Jones is like a skill position player who's like fun, wearing sombreros and doing fun stuff. Like, it's no skill position player on the outside or a tight end position. It's Jordan Love.
Let's move on to Homer and Tony here. We got a little twofer for the crew from 2 to 4 on 94.5 ESPN Milwaukee. Will Jordan Love win a Super Bowl during his time as the Packers quarterback?
Holy crap.
Yes, 53. No, 47.
Yes.
Can we just talk about the insanity of it being over 50%? Rodgers won one.
I want to hear the other one first because I think these two are tied directly together.
Will Jordan Love win an NFL MVP award during his time as Packers quarterback? Yes, 28%. No, 72%.
What the hell?
I have to say yes to that one too because if he's not an MVP quarterback, it's going to be a hard time to win a Super Bowl. And I think that's what's so shocking is that there's a lot of people out there that just think the greatness of the Packers is going to exist regardless of what happens. And they don't have a lot of belief right now in Jordan Love. Now, that's a steep question, right? We're asking, in like the odds of any player who hasn't played on any team, like, is no, right? Like, over a 10-year span, like, no. But you have to answer yes to both, in my mind. If you answer yes, they're going to win a Super Bowl. Jordan Love is going to have to win an NFL MVP award during his time as quarterback. That's what I think.
Honestly fascinated by these answers. I mean, 53% that Jordan Love wins a Super Bowl? If he was that good, he'd already be freaking playing. Golly gee Williker. Nobody knows anything about him, and half the fan base thinks that he can drive them to a Super Bowl. I'm not answering this question. This is the stupidest thing in the world.
That's just, I mean...
Golly gee Willikers.
I mean, couldn't you have just said that same thing about Aaron Rodgers in 2008?
No, because there was enough.
Gotcha.
There was enough there where, like, again, whether it be the offseason where he made throws in practice, whether it be when he came into the Dallas game, like, there's just stuff that...
Philly game.
Thank you. There's just stuff that happened that made me more confident.
I was saying the Philly game for Jordan Love.
Oh! You're right. 10 snaps.
When it comes, let's go to Homer and Tony here. When it comes to the Packers 2023 season, is the term rebuild a bad word? Yes, it's a bad word, 25%. No, it's not a bad word, 75%.
It's not a bad word. Like, it's okay. It's okay to admit where you're at realistically rather than fooling yourselves into something that you're not. The worst thing you can do is pretend to be something that you're not because then you're building a fake identity. Like, set your expectations to where they need to be. The expectation should be to try and win double digits this year, right? And if they don't, the same thing next year, and hopefully you build upon that. It should not be like, I'm so down on the Packers, and it all stems from how Goody has handled the last 3 years.
Negative Benny.
Big
You
time.
hear it, Joshy?
I do. Hater.
It's not a bad word at all. In fact, I think it's fair. They're trying to do a rebuild on the fly, and I think they started putting the pieces of the rebuild together back when they drafted Jordan Love and A.J. Dillon. Like, they drafted the successors at quarterback and running back years ago knowing that Aaron's time was going to come to an end. And this is it.
Both of them after the 2019 NFC title game in which they could have gotten better while Aaron Rodgers was under contract. So stupid.
Not if Jordan Love wins an MVP in a Super Bowl, then it's really smart.
Super Bowl.
I'll bet a lot of money it doesn't happen.
Let's move to the other show that is 2 to 4, Rutledge and Hambone. You can hear them on 100.5.
Does anybody call him Hambone?
Don't know. Mm-hmm. Fair. Which NFL team
Call him Matt.
has the biggest mystery at quarterback for 2023? Packers with Jordan Love, 47%. Panthers and Bryce Young, 13%. Bucks and Baker Mayfield, 14%. Or Colts with Minshew / Anthony Richardson?
I mean, to answer the question honestly, it's probably the Colts.
Yeah, I'd say it's the Colts.
You know what I mean?
The Colts or Bryce Young, since we've literally never seen them throw a pass.
The thing about Bryce Young is you saw him play at the highest level at college against Georgia a lot, who's got a lot of defenders that end up in the NFL. So there's a little bit more certainty there.
I think we know
what Baker is.
I think we know. Yeah, Baker, take him out of the equation. He stinks. We know he stinks. I think we know if Bryce Young fails, why he's going to fail, and it's going to be because he's small. I think is he your height? Is he 6 feet 7/8, or is he shorter than that?
I'm short, but he's shorter.
Okay. We know that that he's going to either fail because of that or succeed because of all the reasons why he's the number 1 overall draft pick. Jordan Love, I still don't know if people know why he's going to be great or why he's not going to make it.
It's a great point.
Like, there's still a lot of mystery in my mind around it. And, like, we've got people calling in here being like, yeah, he's going to rush for 9 touchdowns this season. Right?
It was 21-9. Not TD to interception. 21 passing, 9 rushing.
The Hurts sneak. It's happening.
I mean, great. Do you know how many rushing touchdowns he had in 3 years at Utah State?
5.
9. In 3 years in college.
It's gotten better.
Is that it?
Yep.
And he did have 7 touchdowns.
In the Mountain West, mind you.
He did have 7 touchdowns in the Mountain West off of 63 yards rushing. He never rushed more than 175 yards in a season, and he never averaged more than like 3 yards per carry. So he's not a scrambler, even though people think that's one of the reasons why he's going to succeed, which is definitely maybe. And maybe he's going to be more willing to scramble. But as I stand by, like, I just think there's not a lot of people who know exactly what things are going to look like with Jordan Love.
I wonder if the Packers media don't know how to judge Jordan Love because they watched Aaron Rodgers for so long. You know what I mean?
It's true. Nick in Madison says, I love Ben being down on the Packers. His prognostication is almost always wrong.
True.
It's true. Great sign for the Packers this year.
Bet the over.
Dick in downtown chimes in and says, on the rebuild chatter, the Packers having all these feel-good signings like Simone Biles' husband feels like a great way to keep the beat reporters happy with softball stories throughout training camp and ignoring the real concerns in the front office.
Finally, Dick with a good comment.
Brother, they're going to be happy regardless.
Yeah, they'll find their happy-go-lucky stories anywhere. But Simone was a gift.
Benny, why don't you tell us about your friends at Water Joe?
Well, I'm not going to lie. After that last break, I needed a little energy. My super secret stuff is Water Joe, so that's what I did. I got my Water Joe from my desk, and I pumped it up in the system. Clean, healthy energy, 85 milligrams of caffeine. Did you not see the twist there from the beginning of the segment to the end of the segment? The energy that Water Joe provided me, and it's healthy, clean energy. Not crappy energy, not soda, not energy drink, just clean, healthy energy. Water, no off taste with caffeine. That's my great friends at Water Joe. Pick it up at any of your favorite retailers.
800-990-3776. Again, 800-990-ESPN. Friday on Scalzo and Brust, presented by Michelob Ultra.
You're listening to Scalzo and Brust, presented by Michelob Ultra.
And this is my song, by the way, that you like, Joshy.
Yeah, after we picked on you, I've decided to brighten you up a little bit.
You know what? Thank you. And this song is called Brighter Days. So now I'm feeling brighter. And you know what? We got off to a weird start. Vibes were down, but I'm feeling great.
Vibes weren't down. You just had a bad segment.
You just ruined it.
Scalzo and Brust. Available anywhere you get your podcasts with Wisconsin On Demand. You're listening to Scalzo and Brust, presented by Michelob Ultra.
41 southbound was closed at Watertown Plank Road because of a report of shots fired, but it has now since reopened. We do still have delays through the area, in both directions, actually, of 41, right past Watertown Plank Road, but just keep that in mind. Things are going to get better. Southbound 43, still slow from Silver Spring all the way down to the Marquette. Eastbound 94 had an earlier accident in Johnson Creek. At Highway F, we had the left lane blocked there for a while east of Highway 26. That is cleared. The delays are still back to Highway 26. Those are working themselves out. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast tonight, mostly cloudy with a chance of showers, a low of 52. Tomorrow, mostly cloudy, slight chance of showers, a high of 64 at the lake, 70 inland. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
They say consistency is the key to success. They weren't wrong. So how about grabbing a beer that's consistently smooth, consistently refreshing, and consistently light? You might just find that the road to success can be pretty enjoyable. Michelob Ultra, the perfect balance of taste and refreshment, and only 2.6 carbs and 95 calories. It's only worth it if you enjoy it. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Magoo's on the Mound is your game day headquarters. Located on 59th and Blue Mound, just minutes from the ballpark. Magoo's has food options for everyone and a vast selection of craft beers and cocktails. Enjoy some drinks and watch all the games with your buds. Or stay entertained with pool, darts, trivia, poker, or live music. Plus, Magoo's on the Mound offers plenty of free parking and shuttles to all home games for the crew. Check out their food and drink menu as well as upcoming events at magoos.biz. That's magoos.biz.
Milwaukee baseball games. All those reliable sights, sounds, and smells. You know, like friends, laughter, and the sweet aroma of meat in the air when we tailgate. Speaking of reliability, you can count on Evans Transportation for accounting, shipping, and tracking needs for manufacturers. Just like the boys in blue always give us blazing fastballs, dingers, and high blood pressure in the late innings. We hope to see everyone at a game this season. And go Crew from Evans Transportation in Brookfield.
Sunday Night Baseball is back on 94.5 ESPN.
When there's a drive to right field, high and deep, down the line it is going, and it is a grand slam home run, and the Red Sox have broken it open.
It's a classic interleague matchup on Sunday in Beantown. The Red Sox host the slumping Cardinals.
A swing and a long drive. Left center field. Outside. Got her! 5-4 Cardinals in the ninth.
Our coverage starts at 5 o'clock on Sunday night.
Your mother invested her life in you.
And she's extremely glad she did.
And there's another woman who believes in you.
Her life is all tied up in yours.
She deserves a diamond pendant that symbolizes the sparkling years she invested in you.
Because let's face it, you wouldn't be where you are without her.
And you need to get another diamond pendant exactly like it for the woman who is sharing her life with you today.
Diamond pendants are impossibly expensive, but Kessler's makes the impossible possible.
Just $149.
$149.
It's your way of recognizing that your life
and her life
are all tied up together.
$149.
You'll see the symbolism the moment you see the pendant.
And so will she.
Give her a diamond pendant for Mother's Day.
Impossibly priced at just $149.
Welcome to Kessler's.
To find the Kessler's nearest you, go to KesslersDiamonds.com.
It's Scalzo and Brust on 94.5 ESPN. Presented by Michelob Ultra. It's only worth it if you enjoy it.
Joshy, I got him singing with the mic off, with the headphones on, full go.
You have something stuck in your teeth on camera. I haven't said anything on it all day. So
what the hell? What kind of friend are you?
Well, it's like back far enough. I don't think you can see it on the camera.
No. We have a relationship that has now lost trust based off of this.
Yeah, it was about 3 segments that it's been there. Can you feel it? That side of your, yeah, you can see it. It's like black. It's like all the way up there.
Ben, why don't you go to a camera real close to see if we can see it?
Yeah, see if we can do it on the camera.
What the hell is that?
I don't know.
Want me to go to the...
Yeah, look into the camera there.
Well, do you might want to go to the other one that's shorter? I don't know how the 5'7" guy gets to bully the 6 feet tall guy about height, but somehow.
Let me get my stepping stool.
Yeah. Ben's going to put his gross face and mouth right near the camera, which you can see on YouTube. You can also use the Watch Live tab on the Wisconsin On Demand. And, of course, you can always find the stream on Twitter at Scalzo and Brust. Always on video, always for you, the Scalzo and Brust family. That's kind of gross. Kind of gross. So we talked about this Packers team. If they are going to ever become a Super Bowl contender, you need Jordan Love to become an MVP quarterback. And when we've seen an MVP quarterback, we've seen a legit number 1 wide receiver. Will the Packers have a 1,000-yard wide receiver this upcoming year? 800-990-3776. Again, 800-990-ESPN. Ben?
Dude, it's not even food. I don't even know what this is. It's like plastic. And I say no, they definitely won't have a 1,000-yard receiver. Jordan Love's going to have around 3,500 to 3,600 yards.
What do you mean it's plastic?
I don't know. I'm trying to figure out what it is.
Is it a pen?
It's definitely plastic. It's definitely a pen. Like a pen.
It's disgusting.
How does that get in my mouth up there?
Because you chew on pens.
Good point. 35 to 3,600 yards. And again, Watson around 800, 900. Dobbs around 500, 600. Reed around 400, 500. Musgrave 200, 300. Aaron Jones 400. Like it's just gonna be all over the place because they're trying to develop a bunch of different weapons. They don't have a true consistent guy yet. I need to see it before I'm gonna put my money on it.
I'm a one here. I think that they're gonna have a 1,000-yard receiver.
Who?
Josiah, the Messiah, DeGuara. No, I think it's going to be Watson.
What does it all mean?
I think they're going to end up trying to feed it to somebody. You're saying they have all these mouths to feed. They don't have that many mouths to feed. They got Dobbs. They've got Watson. They've got
Toure, Reed, Musgrave.
Toure's a 7th-round pick last year.
I'm not going to lie. You were talking about Toure the other day like he's like a staple of the Green Bay Packers moving forward.
I'm saying he's going to be their 4th wideout. It doesn't mean he's going to be good or someone you feed the ball to. Like, they're going to have to throw the ball somewhere. You got rookie tight ends. Like, I think they're going to try to force the ball to Watson and Dobbs a lot. And I think with Watson's big playability, I think he's going to end up aggregating over 1,000 yards.
My worry about Watson is can he do it being the number one guy?
I don't worry about that. I worry far more about health with him than anything else. I think if he stays healthy, he can be a 1,000-yard wide receiver. He's physically gifted enough to beat anybody that's next to him. I'm not saying he's a polished route runner and he's understands all the concepts, but like they're gonna be able to hit some big plays. And think about it, for a team that's probably gonna be behind in some games, like they're gonna air it out. They're gonna have to throw the ball. If you don't throw the ball, then why the hell even like invest in Jordan Love and these young wide receivers? Like, I hope that they don't just ground and pound and try to win 9 games. I hope they actually try to play good football. And that involves throwing the ball in a throwing league. You throw to run in the NFL. You don't run to throw.
You might have to, depending on how good Jordan Love is, though. You know what I mean? Like they're not going to unleash Jordan Love to throw over 30 times within the first 4 weeks.
All right, let's pretend he throws 30 times a game. Where are those targets going?
8.
And don't act like he's throwing to the running backs a lot, because even though they can catch, Matt LaFleur sure as hell doesn't scheme for him.
I mean, if you look at targets, there's enough targets between the two of them to cover 30% of the 30 targets. Still leaves a lot left. I mean, you're right, but again, completion percentage will come into this. I just think we're getting to a place now where we're doing the prognostication of how good some of these guys are going to be when we don't even know if Jordan Love and Christian Watson are going to have like a good connection. Now, the good news about Watson is you may not need that good of a connection because of those things that you said, how tall he is, how fast he is, how strong he is. You literally get him in space and he will make stuff happen. You put him in motion, get him on an end around, Josiah DeGuara lead blocking, the thing might burst for 60 yards on a run. And so, again, I see a lot more dink and dunk than I do going deep and trying to put Jordan Love in a situation where he's throwing too much and not setting him up for long-term success.
Yeah, the running backs last year had less than 20% of the team targets.
Well, Alan Lazard was on the team.
Alan Lazard had 100 targets last year. 100 targets. Caught 60 balls for 788 yards.
I guess my point is...
Yeah, Alan Lazard had 100 targets last year. 100!
My point being is, even like looking at last year, I still think they're going to spread it out to as many people as possible because these are still second year wide receivers. They're not sure things yet. We don't know if
I know they're not sure things, but my point is Jordan Love, I think, is going to matriculate towards 2 guys, and I think their names are going to be Watson and Dobbs. I think he's going to have Musgrave down the center of the field, and, you know, the running backs, especially Aaron Jones, will help. But I still think you're looking at 80-plus targets, 90-plus targets Watson.
I was just going to make
targets.
the lamest bet of all time that the running backs have 23% of the targets.
That's the lamest bet in the history of bets. Lamest bet in the history of bets. The one sure thing that's a bet in this world is working with Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. It's going to leave you happy and satisfied. We've worked on my house twice now. Replaced windows and doors, took out some windows, put in some doors, and every time I am blown away at the quality of the product, the quality of the process, and the quality of the people. And right now, we've got wild temperature swings, probably leading to wild mood swings in your house. So call our friend Gina Dell at Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin today. Say goodbye to a drafty house with stunning new windows and doors. Order today and get 0% interest for 4 years. 0% interest for 48 months. But you got to act now because that offer is only good through the end of this month, May 31st. Go to PellaWI.com/radio. That's PellaWI.com/radio or stop by their incredible showroom in Brookfield or on the Beltline in Madison. Again, PellaWI.com/radio. Scalzo and Brust on a Friday, presented by Michelob Ultra. It's only worth it if you enjoy it. Thought you were going to fill it.
You're listening to Scalzo and Brust, presented by Michelob Ultra.
I can't believe it. You're criminals.
Scalzo and Brust, available anywhere you get your podcasts with Wisconsin On Demand.
Woo! I am thirsty today. Definitely going to need a cold one. There's the one. I'm back with Broken Bat Brewery's founder, Tim Pauly, who's going to give us the inside scoop on what's on deck this summer at Broken Bat Brewery.
Usually around 14 to 16 beers on tap, a couple more in cans available. We're super excited to launch a food truck partnership this summer coming in May. That'll be a 7-day-a-week operation, so we'll be adding food to the repertoire. And again, of course, we got the indoor wiffle ball field, man. You can rent it out for birthday parties, bachelor parties, bachelorette parties. If it's fun, you can't take it too seriously. It's legitimately a kid's game that you get to drink some craft beer with. And we're right in the heart of downtown Milwaukee, so I can't beat the location. Great beer, great staff. I can't beat it. That's Broken Bat in a nutshell.
Thanks again to Tim for all the insight on all the great things happening at Broken Bat Brewery. Remember, folks, whether it's games or not, the fridge is always stocked.
Jeff Levering and wife Ashley love their new patio door from Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin.
It's like having a brand new kitchen. It's so bright, it's so clear. I can see the kids outside playing.
I love the roll screen. The fact that the screen is on the inside, no drafts. It's a game changer.
Get 0% interest for up to 48 months at Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin and have everything installed in as little as a day. Visit PellaWI.com.
Certain restrictions apply. Offer ends 5/31/2023.
What shall we do with the broke propeller? What shall we do with the broke propeller? Don't look at me, I wasn't driving. Thank you, you're not helping. I don't even know why you bought this boat. You told me that you loved this boat. That was before you wrecked the boat. Well, now you've made it awkward.
Accidents don't just happen in sea shanties, so Progressive Boat Insurance has you covered. Take as little as 4 minutes to see what you can save at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Covered subject to policy terms and not available for all boats or in all situations.
To every woman with a will and a workbench, every mom with a miter saw she's not afraid to use, every daughter with a drill and the drive, to the women who get their nail guns together, the ones who are welding the gap, the same ones who DIY like no one's watching. At the Home Depot, we see the potential in you because you see the potential in everything. The Home Depot, how doers get more done.
Football guy.
Are you cutting me out of the show and talking to Jesse and ignoring me?
Football guy.
We're going to take calls. You're not a fan. This is a fan-related question. This is
I can be optimistic about the team without cheering for the team.
Coming at it from different views.
Go ahead. You guys have a segment. Go right ahead.
What do you got, Jesse?
Hey, Tausch.
Oh, how nice of you to give him airtime.
Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Weekdays 9 to noon on 94.5 ESPN. And available wherever you get your podcasts with Wisconsin On Demand.
Hey, this is Bo stepping in for Ridgetop Larry. Ridgetop Exteriors is Wisconsin's #1 choice for roofing, siding, windows, and doors. We are the trusted local experts who live and work in the areas we serve, which means we're helping friends and neighbors too. On top of that, Ridgetop Exteriors offers the most affordable payment options, including no interest and low interest financing. For your free estimate, visit ridgetopexteriors.com. Roofing, siding, windows, and doors. Visit ridgetopexteriors.com.
Cousin Sub's Game Day giveaway is back. This is your chance to win a $400 Ticket King gift card to purchase tickets to an upcoming sporting event of your choice. Enter at cousinsubs.com/Game Day giveaway now through July 30th. One grand prize winner and 11 guests will enjoy a suite at the Friday, August 25th baseball game in Milwaukee. The grand prize includes game tickets, parking, food, and beverages. Enter at cousinsubs.com/Game Day giveaway. Cousin Subs, we believe in better.
It's free beer and free pizza Friday on Scalzo and Brust. Stay tuned to win a case of beer from Ben's Beer Fridge and the overtop deliciousness of a screamin' Sicilian pizza. Whew, it's so screamin' good.
Save me, save me, save me. Save me.
Scalzo Brust on a Friday, presented by Michelob Ultra. Oh, it's worth it. Oh, and you better enjoy it. Ben Brust, Greg Scalzo, Josh and DiMaggio running the show. You, the Scalzo and Brust family, calling, texting 800-990-ESPN.
But I have to tell everyone about the greatest racetrack in North America, and that is Road America. Whoo, baby, I can't wait for the season to get started. Next weekend, the SVRA Vintage Festival weekend kicks off the 2023 season. So go to roadamerica.com and get your tickets for the SVRA Vintage Festival weekend. Let's go. I will also be heading to the NTT IndyCar Series race on the 18th of June. They have NASCAR coming to town. Go to roadamerica.com. Look at the schedule with free parking and free admission for kids 16 and under. If you don't go for affordable family fun, you are missing out on one of the Wisconsin's best experiences you can have.
Hillsy chimes in. It says, Ben, the solution for not having plastic in your mouth is to just brush your teeth more than once every 48 hours. Jason and Madison, the official and unofficial bodyguard of the Scalzo and Russ family, 6'4", 270.
It's actually a big deal.
Says, how you doing, my brothers? And yes, we will. Mark my words, Christian Watson will be pushing 1,200 yards if he stays healthy. And Terrence, the Amazon driver / Steelers fan of the Scalzo and Russ family, says, listen, how could anyone say that Love will outplay Pickett when they come to Pittsburgh? For one, Jordan Love hasn't played an entire season like Kenny Pickett has, and that matters, you guys. Huge, and you know it. Second, our defense with Mr. TJ Watt is going to smother Love. My prediction, Steelers 27, Packers 10.
Man, we're really jumping ahead in the schedule. Isn't that week 10?
It's because Kenny Pickett's ass.
That didn't come out as smooth as you wanted.
I have a real bad stomach right now.
Because you paused,
yeah,
it sounded like you're talking about his butt.
Yeah, it sounded like you're
calling him ass.
I thought you were going to say because Kenny Pickett has smaller hands than me because Josh has small hands.
Whoa. The heck?
You said it on the show.
Small hands, Josh.
Shots fired.
You said that about yourself.
I don't remember that happening.
Am I wrong?
No, very small hands. Smaller than Kenny Pickett.
Baby fingers.
We talked about this.
Baby fingers.
We talked about this before.
Now I know why he's got so many issues with the slide job there on the board. 800-990-3776. Caller 1 in Madison. Caller 1 in Milwaukee. We got Broken Bat Brewing Company. Great beers. Great summer crushers for you guys. So you get a case of Broken Bat and you get a free Screamin' Sicilian pizza. It's so screaming good. So when you call 800-990-3776, Josh is going to take you. Caller 1 in Madison. Caller 1 in Milwaukee. 800-990-3776. Broken Bat in Palermo.
We got Bloodmania Studio Show coming next in Madison, Milwaukee, and Beaver Dam. You get Joe and Amber. Have a weekend, Wisconsin!
Southbound 43, still seeing some delays from Silver Spring all the way down past Capitol Drive and into the Marquette. It'll lighten up once you get through the Marquette, but then it slows down again once you get off the high-rise bridge down to the KK River. Southbound on 894, seeing delays from Oklahoma Avenue all the way down and around the Hale interchange onto 894 eastbound. And the good news is southbound 41 is back to normal. It's pretty much no delays in either direction on 41. And checking the TMJ4 Storm King forecast tonight, mostly